There was no trial on any of this. They basically just said, what, you can't be on the ballot? I mean, how does that work? What's the limiting principle for that? Why could we just say that Biden can't be on the ballot because he let in 8 million illegals into the country and violated the Constitution, which he has?
Florida Governor presidential candidate Ron DeSantis suggesting now that Trump has been removed from Colorado's ballot. Red states like Texas may be able to remove President Biden because of the border crisis. California Democrats are also moving to remove former President Trump from their state's 2024 primary ballot. The lieutenant governor told Sacramento's Secretary of State to, quote, explore every legal option to remove Trump. President Biden, meanwhile, was asked about Trump being removed from Colorado's ballot on Tuesday. Watch.
Trump an insurrectionist, sir?
Well, I think certainly it's self-evident. You saw it all. Now, whether the 14th Amendment applies, I'll let the court make that decision. But he certainly supported an insurrection. And no question about it. None. Zero.
Trump responded on Truth Social early this morning, writing this: crooked Joe Biden is a threat to democracy. Joining me right now is Montana Congressman Matt Rosendale. Congressman, thanks very much for being here this morning. I want to get your take on the Supreme Court ruling in Colorado.
This is the worst case of judicial activism that I've ever seen, Maria. It truly is. To strip President Trump's right to participate in the elections going forward. This is the kind of activity that gives everyone across the nation a distrust of government, and they lose confidence in all of our institutions. And this coming from a man, okay? We just heard from Joe Biden that literally his family is being investigated because of the web of their activities, the crime family, the Biden crime family that we have seen on full display with the banking records that Jamie Comer has produced. And then for him to step out and say that President Trump was involved in an insurrection. Look, I was there. By the way, I was there on January the 6th. It was a protest. There's been a lot of people that had been jailed and locked up. They were overcharged. And they were there just simply to voice their opinions. And we've got a lot of problems going on. And to see the state Supreme Court of Colorado strip President Trump's right away to participate in the election, every citizen across Colorado should be protesting, and every one of the primary candidates for president should also protest this by not participating in the Colorado elections.
Yeah. Maybe, but look, the bottom line is they're winning. California says it's also looking into it to try to remove Trump from the ballot. In California, the Democrats want him out, and they'll stop at nothing. Despite what you just said, the corruption in plain sight, House Oversight Committee investigators received new witness testimony from a trustee of AmeriCorps Health that the $200,000 check that James Biden sent to Joe Biden could only have come from predatory loans or senior citizens' money fraudulently invested by one of James Biden's business partners. The trustee also told the committee that their company paid James Biden $600,000 because he promised to use his last name, Biden, with Middle Eastern contacts to help them raise capital. The company said that James Biden did not deliver, and now they're suing him. They demand he pay back $600,000, Congressman. What do you make of this?
And you were spot on. And you do not have to actually produce the results in order for this crime to be committed. All you have to do is make the promise that you want to receive funds in exchange for this benefit that you might be able to get. So they have absolutely committed crimes. And this is why I continue to sound the alarm and say, not only should we be going through this impeachment process, but the Department of Justice has got to step up and start performing their task. And that is to start charging and prosecuting these crimes that everyone can see have been brought out by Jamie Comer and all of his good work on the Oversight Committee.
Yeah, but they're not. Is there anything else you can do as an elected official beyond sending letters?
We look, Maria, everyone has to do their part, okay? The Congress does not charge and prosecute. So until the American people shout and scream and say we are not going to accept this any longer, then this is how government is going to conduct themselves. We went through over the last 2 months and presented the reductions in spending for these different agencies to actually rein in the out-of-control weaponized government. And unfortunately, 86% of the reductions in spending that we put forward, Maria, were shot down. They were voted down, not by Democrats, but by Republicans. We were lucky to get 75 to 125 votes on these. And these weren't just reductions in spending so that we could reduce the budget, okay? These were to reduce the weaponization of the federal government against American citizens.
Yeah. Well, look, you have done all you can do and your colleagues, but they're still winning. We're watching our country decline in real time, and partly because of this wide open border. President Obama years ago said he wanted to fundamentally change the country. That's exactly what's happening. Customs and Border Patrol sources told Fox News that just since December 1st, there have been more than 200,000 migrant encounters at the border, an average of more than 10,000 people a day. That's just 20 days. Texas Governor Greg Abbott is now sending planes of illegal migrants to Chicago. The first plane carrying more than 120 people, Congressman. Will you be able to do anything on the border?
And that is another place where we tried to have these reductions. And we also have begun the process to impeach Alejandro Mayorkas, Homeland Security Secretary, as you all know. You've been down there many times yourself, Maria. We have a CODEL. Speaker Johnson is going to take us back down to the border. I've been down 3 times myself. We're going back down again the beginning of January, first couple of days of January, before everybody returns to Congress. In Eagle Pass, on Monday alone, they had 12,600 illegals there. You're right. The country cannot sustain this. Finally, these communities that are declaring themselves as sanctuary cities are starting to complain about it. They're starting to feel the pain. The residents are starting to complain about it. We had a hearing in Natural Resource Committee because New York is trying to use Floyd Bennett Park. It's a national park up there to temporarily put the illegals up there, anywhere from 2,000 up to 7,500. Military-age single men. And finally, we had the city council from New York come out and say, no, we can't have this. Republicans and Democrats alike. This is the kind of pain, unfortunately, people have to suffer before we start seeing the changes made across our country to stop this invasion and the absolute destruction of our country.
Yeah. Congressman, we're going to be watching it. Of course, we have a spotlight on it. And of course, we want to know what you learn when you go back to the border again. Thanks very much for being here this morning.